people say I've got money in the bank, I say, well, once you put it in the bank, it's not your money anymore. It's the bank's money. They'll give it to you if they feel like it.
Are you prepared for a financial storm that could change everything? Jim Rickards, a leading economic forecaster, warns that 2025 may bring a global shift with serious impacts on wealth and stability. What does this mean for your finances, and how can you protect yourself? Stay tuned for Rickards' essential insights. For Jim Rickards, 2025 isn't just another year on the calendar. It's potentially a defining moment for the global economy. Rickards, a renowned economist and former advisor to the CIA, has been warning of a unique blend of economic forces that he believes are converging to create a perfect storm. This isn't a simple matter of one or two red flags. Rickards sees a complex web of risks, from skyrocketing national debts and intensifying political tensions to the growing influence of digital currencies. According to Rickards, governments worldwide have been piling up debt for years, and that load has reached a precarious tipping point. Imagine a massive weight just barely held up by a crumbling foundation. That's how Rickards describes the world's debt situation. Add to this the geopolitical strain between major powers like the United States, China, and Russia, which he believes could trigger shifts in global trade and finance. Then there is the rapid rise of digital currencies, which are reshaping how economies function and raising questions about control and stability. Each of these elements alone could be concerning, but combined, they create a scenario that Rickards believes could fundamentally disrupt the global economy by 2025. Rickards begins with a major concern: global debt. Over recent decades, both developed and developing nations have borrowed more than ever before, and this debt has only grown. Governments have taken on massive loans to fund infrastructure, social programs, and even emergency reliefs for events like the COVID-19 pandemic. But Rickards cautions that debt levels are now reaching dangerous highs, and many countries may find themselves unable to meet their obligations. When debt piles up, it becomes like a ticking time bomb. One unexpected crisis could set off a chain reaction that triggers defaults, currency collapses, and a financial meltdown. If interest rates rise as they have recently, the cost of servicing this debt becomes even more unsustainable, increasing the likelihood of a crisis. But that isn't the only factor Rickards warns about. He sees rising geopolitical tensions as another major issue. The world's biggest economies, including the United States, China, and Russia, are increasingly at odds with each other. From trade wars to military buildups, these countries are vying for influence, technology, and resources. When conflicts escalate between these global powers, it doesn't just impact diplomacy. It disrupts trade and economic stability worldwide. The recent US-China trade disputes are a prime example of how tensions between two countries can affect everything from manufacturing to stock markets. Rickards suggests that if these conflicts worsen, the ripple effect would lead to supply chain disruptions, spikes in prices, and even regional recessions. With major economies so interconnected, what happens in one part of the world can have far-reaching consequences. In addition to debt and geopolitics, Rickards points to the rise of digital currencies as a potential game-changer. While digital currencies offer many benefits, Rickards believes they could introduce new risks to the financial system. Central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, are being developed by countries worldwide as they look to modernize their monetary systems. While CBDCs may streamline transactions and increase financial inclusion, they could also lead to greater government control over individual finances. For instance, if governments can track every transaction in real time, it raises concerns about privacy and freedom. Rickards also worries that the increasing popularity of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin could disrupt traditional banking and monetary policy. If more people turn to decentralized digital assets, central banks may find it harder to manage inflation and control the money supply. This could lead to more volatility and uncertainty in the global economy. Given these concerns, what can individuals do to protect themselves? Rickards suggests several strategies aimed at building financial resilience. First, he recommends asset diversification. By spreading investments across various asset classes, people can reduce the risk of losing everything if one market collapses. Gold is one of Rickards' top recommendations. Unlike paper money, which can lose value during inflation or economic crisis, gold has been a reliable store of value for centuries. During turbulent times, gold's value often rises as people seek safe haven assets. Rickards also emphasizes the importance of holding cash, especially in stable currencies. Cash provides liquidity, allowing individuals to quickly access funds if needed. In times of crisis, having cash on hand can make a big difference, particularly if banks face restrictions or if the value of other assets drops. Rickards believes that staying alert to key economic indicators like inflation and interest rates is crucial for financial preparedness. Think of inflation as a slow drain on the value of your money. Over time, it reduces purchasing power, which means the same amount of cash buys less. Interest rates are another critical sign to watch. When rates go up, it often means central banks are tightening monetary policy to control inflation, but this can slow down economic growth and lead to fewer job opportunities. Why is Rickards' 2025 forecast capturing so much attention? Part of it lies in his track record. Over the years, he's made several accurate predictions about financial disruptions. For example, before the 2008 financial crisis, Rickards warned about the vulnerabilities within the housing market and the financial sector's exposure to toxic mortgage-backed securities. His foresight on this issue established his reputation as a credible financial forecaster. While no one can predict the future with absolute certainty, Rickards' insights into global macroeconomics have earned him a significant following among those looking for guidance in complex financial landscapes. Rickards isn't the only economist discussing potential challenges on the horizon. Other prominent voices like Peter Schiff and Nouriel Roubini share similar concerns about rising debt and economic instability. Schiff, for instance, has warned of the potential for currency devaluation and hyperinflation, advocating for tangible assets like gold as well. Roubini, sometimes known as Dr. Doom for his gloomy forecasts, also points to high debt levels and geopolitical tensions as sources of potential crisis. Governments and central banks could address rising debt by implementing sound fiscal policies, focusing on debt reduction and avoiding excessive reliance on quantitative easing. Strengthening international relations and fostering diplomatic solutions to geopolitical conflicts could also reduce economic instability. Yet the question remains, will policymakers take these steps in time to prevent a crisis? Ultimately, Rickards urges individuals not to wait for governments to take action, but to start preparing independently. Building a diversified portfolio with a mix of cash, precious metals and real estate, and possibly even cryptocurrencies can create a financial buffer. Taking control of personal debt, setting up an emergency fund, and keeping a close eye on economic trends are practical steps that anyone can take to enhance their financial resilience. The idea of a major economic shift in 2025 may seem intimidating, but Rickards frames it as an opportunity for preparation rather than a cause for panic. His message is clear: with thoughtful planning and a willingness to adapt, individuals can position themselves to navigate whatever challenges the future may hold. As the global economy faces potential changes, Rickards' advice serves as a reminder that financial resilience is within reach, even when uncertainty looms. So, as 2025 approaches, the time to start preparing is now. Following Jim Rickards' guidance could help you protect your wealth and secure your future against economic uncertainty. Whether or not his predictions fully materialize, his insights offer valuable strategies that can safeguard your financial well-being. Are you ready to take control and secure your assets? If you found this information valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share your thoughts on Jim Rickards' predictions in the comments below. Are you already taking steps to protect your assets? Let us know.